Hi there, Scott from Wessex Blades. Thanks for joining me again. I had a comment yesterday on a video, and it was that now once you've done your paper cuts, do you have to strop it again? I would hope I wouldn't have to strop it again after just so few light cuts of paper. The cut itself, all it's doing is checking that it's got an even edge all the way along. It doesn't catch, and it cuts through with the same amount of force with each one. So each actual time you're going through, I'm drawing it along its edge to make sure it's still cutting. And for the few 15 cuts, just to make absolutely sure it's paper cutting, as opposed to running out of arm hair all the time. As opposed to cutting arm hair all the time, you end up looking like a speed skater or a Tour de France runner, and you ain't got any of your hair on your arms. So the paper cut itself is just a final check. The other thing is when you draw cut through a cloth like this, cotton cloth, if you put it between your fingers, you've opened it up. That's another little check, just to get that last little bit of, if I was stropping on some chromium oxide on a strop, or if I had a little bit of water salt on a paddle strop here. I got a paddle strop. It's just to clean it. Another little check I have is it goes between my fingers. It's got to open that cotton cloth up, completely open it up. It's gone through, effortless. And of course you can always just, you know, just holding it like that. So I thought, well, here we go for, it's come up to 2 minutes, let's do 5 minutes. And of course, this being ground the way it is, this is nowhere near as robust an edge as a Scandi looking one with a convex micro bevel. You know, so all I'm doing is just that as a cutting test. I'm done now because I've checked the edge. So the jet going by, doesn't it, eh? I mean, I've been doing this sort of stuff for years, and I've always thought that my edges should last a few minutes of tinkering without dying or requiring a strop afterwards. Otherwise, get yourself a Stanley knife and a disposable blade. This is supposed to be used on wood, cutting notches, making pot stands, tent pegs, pot hangers, cutting paracord. That's what it's, you know. And then if you've been busy all weekend, and maybe you might want to strop it up after your second day, because it's just beginning to lose its keenness. But as for doing a few paper cuts, and then you've got to strop it, that's not 52-100 with a partial bayonet heat treat. No. My stuff's got to last the duration of the job. And paper should just sort of, whatever. You know, I'm supposed to be cutting pine, birch, sycamore. Nasty stuff like nylon cord. Not 20 cuts on paper and I've got to strop it up again. Wessex Blades. This is ball bearing steel. 59 HRC. Partial paint on heat treat. Bare bar imparting 10% extra toughness. With no loss of hardness. I don't have to strop it up after 15 cuts of paper. I'm just checking the edge. That's what I'm doing. Checking it. Not seeing if it can cut and then I've got to sharpen it up again. No. What's that, Mitch? Yeah, cutting paper. What's that, naughty cat? Yeah, just doing the vid a minute, love.
Do you want
food?
me to bring you another pair of glasses from Norton Discount?
If there's a, do you have a two?
No,
Yeah.
2.5.
Two's fine.
2.5 is what I got you last time.
Yeah, that's alright. 2.5, 2. It's alright. See what I'm doing then.
Because they were a bit tight, weren't they?
Yeah, that's because they make them for the average person's head, but I got a caveman head, didn't I? Apparently, you got to strop your edge up after you've done 15 cuts. And I've been doing. How many years have I been?
Do what?
Someone said after
15 cuts, you do what?
I did a cut test yesterday, just double checking like the edge just before ever. So I said, we've got to strop it up again afterwards. I'm like, if I had to strop it up again afterwards, I'd give up, man. I mean, is that? Yes, come on, it's got to cut, it's got to cut, it's got to cut. That's a Wessex Blade, isn't it? So no, I don't think I've got to strop it after I've cut a piece of paper a few times. Thank you, dear. Make a spectacle of myself. I can't help it, my head's too big. I tell you, Wessex Blades. Jackie Boo! Del Weber, the current cute test. No, I ain't got to strop it up after I've cut a piece of paper. It's Wessex Blades, isn't it? Wessex Blades, partial paint.